Hi and good evening. I'm Isabel and this here is my daughter Winter.
Hi.
And today I will be discussing Kohlberg's theory on moral development. And we will be using the example from this here book. It's Human Development, built with you in mind. And we will be taking it from page 159 and 160 from this here book. So Winter, I would just like to say thank you for being a part of my video here.
No problem.
And we will be discussing moral development and the child as a judge. Okay, I will be reading what Kohlberg's theory of moral development is. Now, Kohlberg, in 1981 and 1985, advanced the cognitive developmental theory of moral development by elaborating on the kinds of information children use on the complexities of their moral reasoning. Before we discuss Kohlberg's views, let us read the tale of Kohlberg's use in his research, and then we will answer the questions that follow. Okay, here is the dilemma we are faced with. In Europe, a woman was near death from a special kind of cancer. There was one drug that the doctors thought might save her. It was a form of radium. Now, the druggist was from the same town, which he had recently discovered. Now, the drug was expensive to make, but the druggist was charging 10 times what the drug cost him to make. He paid $200 for the radium and charged $2,000 for a small dose of the drug. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, went to everyone he knew to borrow the money, but he could only get about $1,000, which was half of what it cost. He told the druggist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell it cheaper or let him pay later. But the druggist said, "No, I discovered the drug and I'm going to make money from it." So Heinz got desperate and broke into the man's store to steal the drug for his wife. So here is what Kohlberg emphasized and the importance of being able to view the moral world from the perspective of another person. Look at this situation from Heinz's perspective. What do you think? Should Heinz have tried to steal the drug? Was he right or wrong? As you can see from this table, which I will read to you in a minute, the issues are more complicated than a simple yes or no. Now, Heinz is caught between a rock and a hard place here, which is legal or social rules. In this case, law against stealing are pitted against a strong human need, which is Heinz's desire to save his wife. So let us look at level 1, which is the pre-conventional, which typically begins in early childhood. So the choices are, I will read for you for the examples for supporting his stealing the drug. First we have, it is not wrong to take the drug. Heinz did try to pay the druggist for it. It is only worth $200, not $2,000. The next example we have for this is, Heinz ought to take the drug because his wife really needs it. He can always pay the druggist back. And the next one we have is, stealing is a crime, so it is bad, but Heinz should take the drug to save his wife, or else people would blame him for letting her die. And the next example we have is Hines must take the drug to do his duty to save his wife. Eventually, though, he must pay for the he must pay the druggist for it. And another example is this situation is complicated because society has a right to maintain law and order, but Hines needs to take the drug to save his wife. And the last one we have is, in this case, the law comes into conflict with the principle of the sanctity of human life. Hines must take the drug because his wife's life is more important than the law. Now, the next one I'll be reading opposes Hines stealing the drug from the top. Okay, taking things without paying is wrong because it is against the law. Hines will get caught and go to jail. And the second one, Hines should not take the drug. If he gets caught and winds up in jail, it won't do his wife any good. The next one we have is stealing is a crime. Hines should not just take the drug because his family will be dishonored and they will blame him. And the next one we have is, if we all took the law into our own hands, civilization would fall apart. So Hines should not steal the drug. Next one we have is, I can see why Hines feels he has to take the drug, but laws exist for the benefit of society as a whole and cannot simply be cast aside. And the final one, if Hines truly believes that stealing the drug is worse than letting his wife die, he should not take it. People need to make sacrifices to do what they think is right. Now, which of those examples would you consider to be morally right?
I would have to say the fourth.
Did you want to take a look at it?
For the opposed, I would probably say the fourth one. If we took the law into our own hands and criticized would fall apart, as things should not steal the drug.
Can you say that a little louder, because my video needs to hear you.
Okay, do I read from here or do I read from there?
Which one did you pick?
Actually, I picked this one. Okay, He should not take the drug. If he gets caught and winds up in jail, it would not help. It would do his wife. It wouldn't do his wife any good.
And why do you feel that that would be your choice in this dilemma?
Well, because if he were to steal, and as it says, if he were to wind up in jail, his wife wouldn't have anyone beside him while as she's on her deathbed. But if he wasn't to steal, he would be able to be with her and to help, what's the words I'm looking for? To be able to be there with her for her last moments of life, I guess you could say in a way. But that is what I think.
Okay, so we have it here that you are at the stage 2 where you naively, egotistic, instrumental orientation. Things are right when they satisfy people's needs. And you chose Hines should not take the drug, because if he gets caught and winds up in jail, it won't do his wife any good. So that is your final answer? I'm kidding. But anyhow, we are at the pre-conventional level with your moral development. So that would put you right at level 1 at the pre-conventional on a stage 2.
Okay.
Which is probably where children of 10 years old would put that, but usually the first would, wait, hold on here. Stage 1 is oriented towards obedience and punishment. So the pre-conventional level, at this pre-conventional level, children base their moral judgments on the consequences of their behavior. Stage 1 is oriented towards obedience and punishment. Good behavior means being obedient so one can avoid punishment. Now, this is the one you chose. In stage 2, good behavior allows people to satisfy their own needs and perhaps the needs of others. In a study of children aged 7 through 16, Kohlberg, 1963, found that stage 1 and 2 types of moral judgments were offered most frequently by 7 and 10-year-olds. Stage 1 and 2 judgments fell off steeply after age 10. So, yeah. Anyhow, I just want to say thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And hopefully your moral judgments will rise as with time. And again, thank you again so much, Winter, for taking the time to be interviewed with me here today. Thank you.